Hello. It's a new day. Oh, it's a Monday, and it's early in the day. Earlier than I would normally be here. Good morning / afternoon to whomever might be listening. Hi, Goddess. I see you're on. Howdy, howdy. That music's still too loud. Let me turn it down. It needs to be way in the background. Okay. Well, I had the blinds open. The sun is going to be coming and going. If it gets too bad, I'll close them. We'll see. Right now, it's not so much coming in. There was a cloud in the way, so it might be a little hazy, but it's doing it as I speak. Nope. Yes. No. It didn't do it. Is it going to get really bright? No. Yeah, I'm sure it'll do it while I'm yapping. Yeah, so it's early. I've got some sunlight. I figured, hey, let's go ahead and get the painting done early. So I've got the rest of my off day today and tomorrow kind of covered for the evening and everything. And I get to enjoy some sunlight, which I never get to paint to because I always start so late, at least not until it starts getting more into the summer. So I thought, what the hell? Let's do it. So, yeah, I'm move my mic back a little bit. It's kind of close. Scoot back. All right. Yeah, that's not too bad. I realize if it's going to be this bright, I don't really need some other stuff on, lamps and all that, but whatever. If it dips down too low, then I can do it. Hey, Desert, welcome in. Watermancers or color dancers. Ooh, I like color dancer. That's pretty sexy. What am I going to do today? So I had a couple things in mind. I've really got a mess going here. I didn't really clean up a whole lot before I started. I kind of blasted into it. Last time I had those Polaroid guys. They're still here. I'll have to find a home for them, and I'll have to prep some more paper like this. So I've got some more ready to go for the future. So I'll plan to do that sometime. My first goal was to try to finish off this dang Aurora painting. It's time for it to be done and gone and out of my mind. One, the difficulty of painting on mineral paper is just wacky. I'm used to using it for abstract stuff, those things that I have done on it, because it tends to kind of go wild, right? It doesn't really focus really sharply unless you're really thick with the paint and a very tiny amount of it. Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, guys, please take your time, come and go. I'll just be hanging on for a few hours doing this and other stuff. But yeah, I'm going to work on trying to finish this guy off. My other half suggested adding some trees as a final bit, since I wanted to leave this central part kind of open. So I might add some trees. I don't know how I would. If I would over here, I might do some really dark ones somewhere over here. But the bigger one's probably going to be like do a big tree over here and then like maybe a couple others or something. We'll see how it goes. And then be done with this darn thing. So I think I'll do that and leave it be from there. I'll leave most of the white on the page and call this one done. So let me get some trees on here. After that, I'm thinking of doing some like color study stuff. I started watching someone new on Twitch the other day. Let me see if I can find their name. Oh, they're up in the corner. Lana. Wow, I'm reading it terribly. Lana Goes Art. She's German. So that's pretty fun. And it was really sweet. If you get a moment, check out her channel. It is stunning. The work that she does is just so cool. She tends to do look like animals. She likes doing animals a lot, but she does a lot of scenery, landscapes and buildings and things like that too. And she's really, really skilled. So if you get a chance, check her out. I don't know if the sub command thing would work for her if she's not in the chat, but we can see what it does. Yep, it doesn't seem to want to notice that they're in existence, but we can see if it does it anyway, because I've never tried that before. I can't type. That is the name. Will it find it? Let's find out how smart Stream Elements is. It did. Great. Yeah, check them out. If you get a moment, they were absolutely a joy to listen to and chat with. And I joined their Discord and shared some of my pictures, and it was really, really sweet. So yeah, check them out if you get a moment. But she has been recently doing books, like sketchbook style watercolor painting. And a lot of the stuff she was doing had like swatches, you know, but specifically for the painting that she was considering doing in that space. And she would do like, if this was the sheet, she would do like swatches on the left side and then leave a large blank space to be able to do the painting in. And then on the next page over, it'd be the same but reversed, or however she wanted to do it. And just how it pulls together is just absolutely freaking gorgeous. So I really love that. So it gave me the idea of kind of recreating my swatch and a few other things, make a new color wheel, but try to make them more digestible, more pint-sized, so I can actually pick them up and move them without them taking the entire page up, more as a reference for me. So I might do that. We'll see. I know me. I can change my mind at the drop of a hat, so we'll see what I do. But yeah, and I think in order to let some light in, I'm going to have to move some of the things that I've got over here, just leaning, so that when the sun comes in, I can get blasted by it. Where am I going to put it? I'll just set it down over here. Okay. So what am I doing for the beginning part of it? Tree, huh? I need... Where? Going back to my cheapy paper or scratch paper. One piece? Yes. Hey, do as I command. All right. Put it over here. Why do I do that? I know some people hate that, but I love doing that little popping noise. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of not great. Okay. Anyway, I know this is garbage paper, but I should practice doing a couple of trees using the indigo color that I was using for all of this, and try to figure out how I'm going to make it work before I actually apply it to this. So let's actually scoot this guy back a little. All right. Put this here. Yep, we can see it. Let's pick a kind of a medium round brush. This is a size 6 round. Oh, haven't even sprayed anything yet. Let me get my indigo refreshed. Should I move this over so I can talk better? I don't know. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it doesn't. Be present to microphone. Okay. You can go there. And just in case I use anything else today, let's wet everything else and activate it. Just refilled. Just refilled this little water bottle. It's nice and full. And yeah, I hadn't even arranged any of my water. I just kind of threw it over here, which is fine. It's fine. Let me get my rinse stuff here. Gosh, hey, I need to clean up better before I start. I've got my white liquid acrylic and watercolor for stars sitting over here. I guess I use them often enough. I should just leave them out. So I'll leave it there. Yeah. It's amazing how bright and sunny and like there were beams coming in earlier and now it's like overcast. So I'm just getting like a haze, but hey, it's keeping it bright enough to paint by. So it's probably better that it's like this. Okay. Quit yapping, Brian. Okay. So what have I got? So yeah, I say it often because my name is Brian. I should know my own name. So I do say that, but I go by Bear. I never really talked about it. Bear is my nickname, but it's also part of my actual, like my middle name. My dad gave it to me. And he's the only person that really ever called me Bear. And he and my mom are both passed on and have been for many years now. And I thought, when I go online, I need a persona, because everybody needs to have a name that's not just your full name, because that doxes the hell out of yourself. So I'm like, hey, I may as well start leaning into Bear because nobody calls me it, and it might make me feel a little warm inside when someone says it. And I think, oh, it's like my dad saying it. So I go by Bear, but sometimes I say my own name out loud and I say Brian. I mean, I'm not hiding who I am. So you may hear both Brian, Bear. It works. Okay, so if I were a tree, where would I go? Well, clearly I'm going to do something over on the right side here and probably thick enough to cover up some of the stuff on the side. We'll see. I might just do a tree that goes just up to this road and over the tip of it to cover the end. But I don't think I want to go heavy with trees, right? So I have to figure how I'm going to do that. So trees, I think, when I see people doing them, they tend to go, it depends on what they're painting, but they tend to go fainter in the background and then darker and larger, obviously, and more detailed in the foreground. So if I'm going to add anything to this, I need to figure out the more background trees that are going to be kind of just chilling in the back first. And that's also, again, going to be hard because it's really hard to apply a texture and like control it in a way that makes sense, I think, on this mineral paper, because it just wants to spread. The second water hits it, it's just, you can tell from the river, the instant any pigment hits it with any water, it just spreads. So I'll have to figure out how to make a tree work on that kind of paper, but I'll start by trying it on this cheapy, just cold press stuff. So let's see. I've got some here. Let me mix it in. Let's see how dark is that. That's pretty faint. That'll probably be what I'm going to look at for the background stuff. But being thinner, it's a problem, isn't it? Because I can't truly control it on the mineral paper, unless I whip out my script brushes, which might give me more control. with less paint, but thinner. We'll try both. So it's going to look different on this paper because it's going to absorb it immediately. But I suppose if I just do like the typical like evergreen style and just kind of start with something pointy and then just work to both sides a little. A fan brush might almost be good, but it would probably be better on this kind of paper. The mineral paper, a fan brush, I think, same problem as everything else. It will just spread out too much. And if I do just some to the side stuff, as much as I like practicing with trees, they terrify me because I just never feel like I can get them right. But they're trees. Trees are organic, they're irregular, so you can kind of make mistakes with it and get away with it because no matter what, it's going to look mostly like a tree, maybe, if I'm lucky. Anywho, so smaller trees. Yeah, I might try switching, at least for the smaller background trees, to a script brush. Let's try this and take a look. So I've got two sizes of a script brush. I have a size 1 and a size 4 script brush from Princeton, their Neptune line. It'll look too script brushy because when there's no water in it, the point goes away almost immediately. But as soon as I dip them in water, their points come back immediately. So I realize I'm not going to fret too much when I'm not painting with them that the point goes away, because it comes back immediately when it's wet. And I think that's kind of what it's meant to do. So for this size paper, I should probably do the smallest, the size 1, for the really tiny background options. So let's see what that looks like. Oops. It's definitely thinner because I realize that's what I did these little grasses with. So that might be too thin. So I may need the next size up. We'll see. Or just hit it with the side of the brush a little bit more. I found a new music playlist today. That's what's playing right now. I use Spotify and I try to hit any like non-copyrighted music because obviously I don't want future, capability of the VODs to not be able to remain online. I've had that issue in the past with YouTube, so. This is a new one. It's like a coffee house vibes kind of one. And it's just going through and playing whatever's going on. Let me make sure it's actually showing the name correctly for what it is. Oh, I didn't have it in the foreground, so it wasn't. That's what's currently playing right now. Whatever that is, Bloom. Is it randomizing, or is that actually where it was? Oh, nope, it's going down the list. How big is it? 13 hours 54, so nearly 14 hours. Well, I'm certainly not streaming that long, so this will be all unique as it goes. Great, okay. Now let's see. Got us saying, hoping so you mentioned that on your stream, solfeggios, however you pronounce it, won't have that issue. I don't think they're copyrighted as they're just sound tones. Probably not, but you know how really anal people can be about owning their product, which I get, I understand, but at the same time, loosen up a little. How do radio stations work? They pay money. Okay, well, I don't make money, so I guess I just can't have it. How are we ever allowed to make mixtapes in the past? We weren't broadcasting them. Okay, every question has an answer, Brian. Shut up. The good news is Twitch seems to be really smart about detecting what it deems copyrighted, and it just will give you the option to just silence out, you silence out that portion of the audio, but your vocal will still be present. it'll just be silent where the music would have been. It's pretty good about generating that with AI to filter it out. YouTube, on the other hand, it says that it does that. It probably does. But sometimes its copyright listings are different than what Twitch's are, because it's up to the copyright holder to present their material on both platforms. So you'll be fine on Twitch because it automatically detects and will help you filter that out. But when that same VOD is uploaded or exported to YouTube, it may have a different set of rules, and you have to then go in, and at least it's really cool. It doesn't give you a strike right away. It gives you like a warning showing, hey, this upload you just did has this in it and it's right here. Do you want to replace that audio or cut it out or have AI strip it away so it's just your voice and whatnot? And at least it gives you options to fix it, which I really appreciate. So you're usually good. It'll tell you if there's a copyrighted problem, and even in the future, when you come back to it years from now, if they decide to claim it way in the future, it'll still pop up and give you a warning saying, hey, they claimed it now, so what do you want to do with this section of music? That's why I try not to do like a huge playlist of copyrighted stuff. As much as I would love to play well-known music, I just can't. Even if you do it live, that's worse than being able to filter it out of the VODs later. People do it all the time because they're dancing with death, right? Everything that you play live is just as copyrighted potentially as anything that's recorded that you would play back later. The downside being, no matter what you do, if it's audible to your listeners, it can be detected by automated systems that these copyright holders have that are out scrubbing different feeds. And if they find that you're playing their music, they will prosecute, right? Instantly, like no holds barred. Just because it doesn't happen a lot or isn't really obvious right now, it doesn't mean it's going to hit and happen soon. But people are flying close to the sun and just doing it anyway and hiding that music. I'm not going on a total tangent without painting anything either. You can hide certain tracks of audio from being in the VOD on Twitch, but that doesn't stop it from being audible live. And they can absolutely claim that and will, and it's just a matter of time before they start hitting everyone hard with that. And then you see big streamers that are going to be going down because 2 or 3 or 4 streams in a row are going to have copyrighted music, or even one will have multiple hits happening in the exact same stream, and all of the subsequent hits will immediately take them down hard and ban their account, and they'll have to fight to get it back if they even will. And it's too dangerous. If you don't own it, don't play it. You know what I mean? No matter how much you'd love to hear it. Like, I'd love to play like actual Star Trek music and actual people that do actual music that I want to hear to hype things up. So DJ streams are a little different. So if they have some backing tracks that are made by somebody else and have obscured the vocals from it, and they're making their own thing from it, I think they're fine. To some degree, I think if they heavily mix over it and change what it sounds like and add to it, make it their own, they might be okay. But also sometimes not, right? Because there's cases of people that replicate some of the functions of someone else's music, and even taking one line of the script. I'm losing my brain, but they'll take like one line out of the song and they'll reproduce it in their song and then go off and do something else with it. Like Miley Cyrus just had that with Flowers, and I forget who had it before her that she took it from, or is claimed that she took it from Bruno Mars, or I don't remember, somebody just like a year before or so. And it was like a response song that she did to that, but she used just enough of the verbiage that it had to go to court. I don't know how that's doing, but it's dangerous just to do words, let alone the audio, right? So it's so dangerous to even play games. And seriously, like, I'll tell you a secret. So before doing any of this streaming, I streamed on Twitch before, under the username The Mage's Mind, and I just did gaming. And I got bored with it a little bit, and not really bored. I got it didn't feel like it was going anywhere, and I was working full time, so I couldn't really spend the effort on it. And we were also doing a YouTube channel at the time called Nature's Mind, and then a podcast that also ironically had the same name because, we're weird like that. Anywho, the podcast one, I was going through and managing our podcast, and I would just go online and look for like what I thought were open copyright photos of like nature and some other things that were widely used. And one time I used literally one picture of like the Appalachian Mountains, and it was like the lowest quality garbage, but I'm like, whatever, nobody's going to care about it. And I got a copyright email about that from the owner of it saying, you stole my work. And I'm like, I make no money from this. And this is literally the garbagest picture of the Georgia mountains that I've ever seen. And instead of combating it, I just said, F it, I give up. I don't care anymore. Just end it all. And we killed the podcast just because of that one guy's copyright. It killed my mood. It killed my other half's mood and desire to do it. I don't want to get caught up in some legal battle with somebody, so I just made it disappear, made it go away. I just didn't care. So going back and doing something new like this, I'm trying even harder to try not to do anything copyrighted because I don't want to go that same route where I just get so bummed out by it that I just want to raze it to the ground and burn it. You know what I mean? So it's so important to keep track of what's copyrighted and just keeping it out there. And man, I went on a serious flipping tangent. This is supposed to be about painting, not about copyrighted music. But I haven't even figured out how I'm going to do my trees yet. Yeah, it's a thing. It's just something to worry about and try to do it in a way that doesn't get you hurt and take away your livelihood. Oh, I kind of like scrubbing it like that. That seems a little nicer. But again, that's on this. Up here, it's too thick. But here, scrubbing it on the side of the brush gives kind of a nice look. Start small and then just kind of scrub a little bit. Yeah, you can see the sun coming and going. Might make some of this visible or not, but yeah, I kind of like that. Let me try the next size up for the script brush, because that might give more surface area to do this. That's you, right? You're my script? Yeah, okay. It's a little harder to control because I'm still a total newbie at this. So yeah, it's way too wide right at the beginning. Maybe it's also too wet. Yep. Am I just going to kind of go for it like I normally do? Probably. Is it going to look good? We'll see. I think we're just going to go for it because that's what I do here. Comment. I don't know what's going on, but you gotta calm your dog tits. Just chill out, buddy. Comment. My doggo. My other half is out, and I think it was taking out the garbage and going off to the store or something. And of course, the dog is like, only half of my humans are here. I'm freaking out. I should probably show a picture of him. Let me find a good picture and I'll share on here. Doggo. It's cute. Yeah, let me send that to and then where did it go? Oh, right there. Perfect. And then there, and then there, and right there. Man. Yeah, I set up Discord, by the way. Because I felt like it. There you go. I realized having a Discord was easier. Oh, I know. The Miley Cyrus thing is absolute greedy garbage. Like, she made a truly beautiful song, and his song is beautiful. Just let them ride. They're making plenty of money. It's ridiculous. It's like a whole huge stupid thing. But yeah, I set up a Discord because I realized in the future, if we ever wanted to do like a paint along thing, we needed somewhere to be able to like put the finished work, or like whenever we're going to play along with each other, we can put them somewhere. Even if we're not like streaming together and I'm just streaming or you're just streaming or someone else is streaming and we want to paint along, we can be like, I painted along with you and this is where it goes. I thought I needed Discord, so I had made one, but I made myself a little folder for private so I can send myself pictures. And I put my doggo here. This is Comet. He's the bestest boy. Yeah, look at that little face. Yeah, little goober. Yeah, that's that little guy. He is, 5 years old. Yeah, I think. He was born Christmas Day 5 years ago. And we got him the subsequent March while he's still a puppy. Well, like a 3-month-old puppy. But yeah, we've had him ever since. He's a good boy. He is half Chihuahua, half Corgi. And everywhere you look, people call that a Chorgi, which I think is hilarious. And he's definitely got the traits of both. He's got the Corgi traits. He's got the Chihuahua traits. He's fiercely protective. Makes it really hard to be able to actually, makes it really hard to be able to socialize him. But I mean, once people are inside the house, he freaks out for a little bit and then he's fine, especially if you bring him food. But outside, like other dogs and other people, if they are too close, he'll just be like, I'm with my human, back off. So yeah, that's him. At some point, I'll take some more pictures of him and I'll show him on here. Or, if I'm smart, I'll set up one of those dog cams, but setting up a third camera will just destroy my computer, I'm sure. My computer's fine, but seriously, the camera I've got over in the corner over here, and when I tried doing another camera above it, it made my computer freeze. So I'm like, okay, well, let's try a different camera. So I bought this one that's up here now. And I thought, once I got it installed, what the hell, let's try running it and the one in the corner at the same time. And it worked and it never freezes. So I'm just running with 2 cameras now. Otherwise, I was only ever going to have this top one. But over-the-shoulder one was becoming a pain in the butt because it was hard to pick up and show anything. I needed a top-down view. So this helped tremendously. I'm still yapping. Yeah, we'll have to share some pictures of our pets. I've seen pieces of fur babies going by in some people's camera feeds, but I don't think I've actually properly seen anyone's animals yet. I think someone's cat got in there. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. Let's figure out this bit, the part that I hate the most. Adding in fine details sucks for me, but we're going to try it anyway. Let's, well, back here is ridiculously far away. Like, it's microscopic. And then all of a sudden I've got stuff in front here, and I feel like I don't have the depth and truly in there well. But, it's not bad. What is bleeping in Discord? Desert. Hey, you made it in. Yes, the link to the Discord is in my About section underneath the stream, so feel free to join that. Yeah, let's just hit it. So thinking it through, the closest stuff is going to be right up here in front. I don't want to fill this with a forest because I just don't have that kind of skill, nor time, nor desire. But I might do like maybe 2 trees, one big one up here in the corner, and then something a little further away. So maybe I'll just shove something kind of gently in like this area. Maybe in some of these little mounds will be a tree coming in, so we can try something. And for where this is, maybe we can do... Okay. Okay, that's not bad. Keep it weird and irregular. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Maybe one over here. Okay. Not too terrible. Add a little bit more to the bottom of this. To the bottom of this. To the bottom of that. Try to give it some darker on the bottom of these perceived branches. That might go in just a touch darker. Some of that. Now the sun's starting to do its thing. Sorry, you might get blinded. And now it's back to normal. I'll let it ride for now, but if it starts getting too bad, I may need to close the blinds to keep the color or the brightness a little even. Before I go blind and before you go blind and before the automatic color and brightness correction stuff decides to wig out on me. This might be too wet to do this, but we'll see. Yeah, it just kind of does what it wants. That's fine. Okay. Yeah? You okay? Hearing some mega sneezes going on behind me. Yeah? Okay, Comet? You get something in your nose? Yeah? Alright. Let's try to hit this giant one over in the corner and try not to freak out about it when it doesn't go, bless you! Go right. Alright. I'm going nuts here. You okay? Hey. Yeah? Yeah, buddy. Yeah? You okay? Okay. Sorry, I'll try to keep the baby talk to a minimum. Okay. You need to be less flat and more round, like I imagine you should be. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Do you want to truly start like up here somewhere and just have it coming like through this? We'll see. Okay. Okay. And clearly some of this is going to spread out as I go. And it's going to be too transparent for a portion of it, but that's okay. I can add more and darken it up. I just want to get the basics. It's too regular Hat is starting to look like a trimmed Christmas tree. Okay. Let's hit it a little darker on some spots. And there comes the sun. Here comes the sun. Do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun. It's alright. Yep. I'm not showing my age, I'm showing my dad's age. I grew up on the oldies. Well, when it wasn't the oldies, but it was the oldies for me at the time. And who doesn't like, you know? I'm totally gonna screw it up. It's been a minute since I've listened to that. I don't remember if it's the Beatles or the Monkees. I'd have to look it up. Sorry, my brain's just gone durr for a minute. I don't remember. He does that. It's one of the two. I know they're different, but they came about at the same time, so. I think the Beatles. I think I'm hearing a little British accent in there, but who knows? In my head. I could Google it, but why bother? Why break the mystery of it? Okay, let's go a little darker. Okay. Get a little bit more of that wetness off. Oh yeah, I need to get a lot of that off there. Okay. I just need to go right into the pigment. Less water. More of the dry stuff. Yeah, that'll probably do it. Yeah, so I can control it better. That's better. Just gonna hit like the shadows on the bottom of these. I hear the other half has made it home, and the dog is like, "Oh my god, Dad! Dad!" You're home. I can be complete. Did you bring me anything? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Don't rush it. Don't rush it. Part of me wants to, because I want to get this over with and get to the colors theory stuff. And not to say I'm tired of looking at this one, but I'm tired of looking at this one. Doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just early on in the career of painting, I am often not proud of everything I do. I know it's silly. I should like everything just because I should be proud of myself and all the stuff that I do. I get it. But you know how it is, especially when you're starting out something new, you think you're garbage at it for a while. I'll get over it. Make the right side of some of these little trunky areas. Maybe get some trunk into it. Bless you, comment. Gosh, still sneezing. Bless you. Yeah, he's been sneezing for a few minutes now. And let's say some trunkage in here. Maybe something at the top. Really dark to cover up the fact that I'm over the top of that road right there. Yep. Maybe some build. Turn this worth at the plankiest point. There we go. Yeah, it's not too bad. Let me rinse that a little bit and do the trick where how well this will work on mural paper. I'll try do it. Yeah, it doesn't work so well on this. It's better when it's already wet. And get some shade under it. Okay. Well, thank you. I was the Beatles. Oh, good. I'm glad I got that right. I was really unsure. And thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's really hard to tell with the sun coming in the way it is right now. I may have to close the blinds here in a minute, but yeah, I did something Aurora-esque on the upper portion. Put some stars on it. Mountains on the side. Little tiny little invisible town way down here, way in the background, with a little reflection on its water of the Aurora above it, and a little river-esque kind of thing here. I'm happier with the trees than I thought I'd be, so that's a good sign. Yeah, not too shabby. Right. I think I'm probably going to call that done. I may add something to it in the future, but I don't want to keep adding to it and messing things up if I do. So I may do some adjustments to the rocky areas because they don't look too rocky right now. I may hit that with some dry brush stuff to give some texture, try to make it match some of the accidental texture we got from the masking tape in the past in those areas. Try to replicate some of that on top of this. So I may hit that later. But I think for on-stream painting on this guy, I think I'm going to call that quits there. So I'm going to scooch it to the side for now, let it dry while we're doing other stuff. Let me scooch that over here. All right. Boom. Okay. I need my coffee over there. All right, there. Okay. And man, it got warm in here. I think I'm going to close the blinds to stop the sun from coming in. And I'm going to open up a window. One sec. Wait. Excuse me.
Sir, actually, loaded.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, from the coffin? Or something?
They are, or just the same. I just played it on chat.
Okay.
Just was shitting my show on the word.
Mm.
What that?
Oh, that's dangerous. Don't play this, I might sing along. All right. All right, what are we doing next? Well, my main goal was color study. I was considering going through, and I probably will, do a new, smaller, not necessarily a swatch, but when now we're doing Christmas music, man, this one's all over the place. I may switch to a different mix here in a minute. I'll let it slide for now, because Christmas, multiple colors, sure, why not? What I'd like to do is I'd like to do a small form factor version of this giant sheet, not even necessarily with the names. I'll still have this big swatch that I'm going to keep behind me over here, or in front of me, but to have something more portable that I can bring down and have in front of me to match the design of my palette. I think I'm going to throw something really quick together, not even with the gradients like I did for the big one. I think just to get the buttery, the thick, solid bit of the color, so I can see like what my palette looks like in small form, just to have to decide. I was thinking of also doing a color wheel to try to do some like color mixing, and just so I've got like a small portable color wheel to see like what's opposite of what and all that, just to get my brain wrapped around the colors a little better. So I might do that. I also saw some other really pretty color theories that people do where they do a color study on a particular color they like and they mix it with a bunch of other things and do the gradients all in one. I've done that before. It's floating around in one of my stacks of other things I've practiced down over to the side here. I might get back to that. We'll see. For now, though, I think starting with the small form of this, and then the color wheel, and then I'll go from there and see what I want to do. So let me grab some better paper than this cheapy one. But not the best. I may have to stand up to this. One sec. Just me, or is it warming? Yeah, isn't it? Were you getting the food? And come back to me. Headphones. Okay, it is just playing random stuff. I see Pennywise down there on the list. What is this list? What is this list of music? Okay, let's get to something I like. See, like I was talking about copyright earlier, I've got a Bare Naked Ladies playlist that I could play. We were listening to a 90s list the other day. I'd love to play those, but I can't. Star Trek, I've got that on here. I'd love to play that. Can't do that. One of my favorites. The soundtrack to the Star Trek Strange New Worlds Subspace Rhapsody episode. I listen to that occasionally. More than occasionally. Front to back. It's good. If you've never seen the Star Trek Strange New World series, the newer one that they've been doing with Captain Pike, great great show. These are sleepy. These are sleepy. These are too slow. I guess I can just do Persona. I always go back to Persona. It's good background music. Okay. And some coffee. All right. Yeah. Scoot this over here. Stay. Yeah. Let's grab this. And the thing I hate the most, tearing this out with the binding there, because there's no like perforations. So I just have to tear, and I hate it on this pad, but that's so loud. All right. And let's whip out the paper cutter. That's over here. Come to me. It's thrift store find, by the way. You can get lots of good throwaway stuff at the thrift store that people thought they weren't ever going to use again. And a paper cutter is one of them. I don't like the guillotine versions where you got the big shoo thing that you got with the big blade on it. These are plenty. So that's what I like to get. I got just this one. And since I'm not measuring this, I don't have to really be, precious, as Adam Soward would say. Precious about my measurements on this. I'm just kind of doing it to fake it. That being said, I do want to have a decent, rectangular representation of the palette. But how big do I want that to be? Because if I'm smart, I really want it to be like a tiny version. So I might do like a very small version of the palette on the upper portion and squeeze the wheel into the bottom. Or maybe I'll do them on separate sheets. I don't know, but let me at least cut this in half. Mostly half, and figure that out. Let me at least do this portion. All right. And then I will save this to the side until I figure out what I want to do with it. And scoot this out of the way. Whoops. Smack. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because I don't want to waste a tremendous amount of time on it, because it's not meant to be as perfectly inside the lines and labeled as this one is. It's just to be like a quick in front of my face color chart. So in case this is buried or I can't get to it, or I want to show it on stream without pulling this giant ass thing out, I'll have a smaller version. So let me look at that. To do this, I think I should have the palette in view so you can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Come hither, paper towel. This can come over. I need to scoot a lot of this back. You go here. You can go up here. You and you. And up. That's better. Try not to get that under my camera up there. Yeah, okay. All of my lights are on, and it's either this or sunlight, which is irregular. So I'm just going to go with this for now. A lot of this stuff down here on the bottom is pretty darn dark. It'll look better once it's been painted out. So, yeah, let me put my script brushes up really quick. Whoops. Right there. And you. Okay. And I think I could probably use this number 6 round brush for this. I think that'll be fine. Let's get started. Let me re-wet this because it's been a little bit. A lot of yapping. Okay. Let's begin up at the top. And I think my goal with this is I want it to be buttery. So I'm going to go really thick with these. And I need to keep it small because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 down on this. So I think I'm just going to just do circles. I think that's the easiest. I'll just do literally something like this. Yeah. Maybe to a very I wasn't going to do gradients, and I changed my mind because I do that. Welcome to my brain. Okay. Next, let's work our way down. This is, oh yeah, the first one was that quinacridone red. I'm not going to label these, but just so you know, this next one is a primary red magenta. All right. Wow, I got some on my finger and I've already applied it to the paper because that's how I am. It's because I got it on the side of my little rinse cup and I got it on my finger. It's fine. All right. Next up is permanent red light. It's a little bit more on the orange side. All right, rinse. Bring it over. Okay. Next. Orange Lake. Orange Lake. Alright. Rinse. Come with me. A magical faraway journey. Alright. Next up is, these have all been from the Mimeri Blue line of paints. This next one is called L'Aquarelle. So L'Aquarelle, French, I think. I could be wrong. I'd have to go grab the tube, and that's in a bucket. I don't feel like looking for. But it is a pretty nice honey yellow, ironically made with honey as a binder, so that's kind of cool. But I found it looks kind of, I don't know. It loses its yellow when it's darkest. Bless you. It turns more, I don't know, it's got like a brownish to it, but when it's transparent, its yellow comes out really nicely. It's really weird. All right. Next up, back to Mimeri Blue. It's a yellow vanadium, I think is how you pronounce that. We'll go with it. Okay. Next up is, did I say 12? Yes, I said 12. Next up is Primary Yellow, also by Mimeri Blue. Okay. Next up is Cupric Green Light. Cupric Green Light. Okay, next up is Cupric Green Deep. It's a nice, like a pine green color. I like it. All right. Next up, sorry, my palette goes wacky here because I had this one originally in the 2 Cupric greens I got later, and this should have been closer to the yellows, but it is by Memory Blue Green Gold. It starts out with a kind of like an army green, and then as you spread it out, it turns this pretty green gold, and then it ends with kind of a gold color on the far end. So really interesting how this one transitions so much from dark to light like that. Next up, we have 2 more left to go on this bottom row before we start going this direction. Next up is by Memory Blue Turquoise Green. Excuse me. Love this color. Starts out really dark. And it turns such a pretty blue. Yep, I like that one a lot. You scoop that up a little. Next up, we have Prussian Blue. Prussian Blue. Also by Memory Blue. I got it wrong when I said it once originally. I thought it was French. Memory Blue is Italian. Right. All right. Next up, I'm going to have to go right. I'll try to match the design on my palette a little bit here. I have an Ultramarine Deep. Ultramarine Deep. That's by Memory Blue. Okay. Next up is a French Ultramarine by Winsor Newton. Okay. Next is my Winsor Newton Indigo that I use like an insane person because it's great for space black. Get a nice thick amount of that on there. Okay. And last up on this part of the section is Carbon Black by Memory Blue. The only black that I've got. Well, I might have one cheap set that I've got a cheaper set, but beep, beep. Did I leave room to expand if I ever go down the right side of the palette? No, I did not. I'll have to make another one of these because I didn't plan ahead. But I can do what I've got. Next up top is Quinacridone Violet Reddish by Mary Blue. Okay. Okay. Next up, I'll leave a gap in case I do fill in some of the top of this palette in the future. Next up, I have another great color, Dragon's Blood by Mary Blue. It starts out a really, I think the word is ruddy, like a brownish, dark dried blood color. And then it spreads. Yeah, there's a little dot of a bubble right there. There we go. Nope, it's just gonna stay there. Whatever. Yeah, Dragon's Blood. It's really pretty. And last up, so I can finish this portion off, is Yellow Ochre, also by Mary Blue. There. All right. Not too shabby, not too shabby. I realized I didn't pull the that carbon black up. You do that. And this one didn't pull up very far at all. All right. All right. That'll be a quickie reference version of this big one. No names. This will still be back here, you know, in front of me, behind the camera, back here. But it might get covered up sometimes, and it'll be nice to have something at a glance that I can be like, my palette is what? It is this. It ends up looking like this. Got it. It looks really dark, but it looks like this. Just so I know. I'll also get that to the side over here and let it dry. I am going to step away for a hot second and drain and replace my rinse water because it has turned a murky color. I have returned. So, up next, a harder one. That was easy. A harder one, figuring out making a color wheel. I've only done this once, like truly doing a color wheel from scratch. So we'll see how this goes. I mean, let's do vaguely in the middle. I'm not trying to be perfect with it, but just try to get like a general square shape out of it. Yep, that wasn't even close to a square. But hey, you know what? That's fine. Stay. 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 Okay. For this, I didn't think this through. Oh, when do I ever? I should look at sketching in a wheel. So the question becomes, what kind of wheel do I want? Let's see. That's too big. Thank you very much. Okay. No, I kind of want to see an actual wheel shape. That one's kind of nice. We'll see. Ooh. Oh. I have seen this one. That's way too complicated. I definitely don't want to do anything that huge. It's going on this. So my purpose is to have a small at the ready one. Let's go smaller. That one's interesting. What is its purpose? Oh, I see. That's cute. I mean, that might be actually good to get in the future someday. That one's kind of neat. That shows like the primary, tertiary, and not primary, secondary, and tertiary colors, right? Which is kind of what I'm going for. So I'll kind of fake it off of that. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 individual spots. Okay. So 12, huh? And I need one of the wedges to be on the top, one on the bottom, and then 2 in the middle of each of those. Well, top, bottom, left, right. And then 2 between those. But that doesn't feel right, because that's missing some steps, I think. Or no, I'm just missing in logic. I need to see it as a triangle. That makes more sense, because then there's 3 in between the primary colors. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. All right. So I need a triangle. I'm not looking to do gradients on this one either. I just want to kind of get the primary colors, secondaries, and tertiaries on there and call it quits with that one. So yeah, I think I'm going to wing it, kind of like I did this one up here. But I need to pick what are my closest to primaries on here. That's hard because some of them lean different directions, right? So I've got this quinacridone red up here, which looks to be mostly reddish. The one below it, primary red magenta, it says it in there, magenta. It's got a hint of blue in it. This permanent red light, it's got a little bit of yellow. It starts tinging orange. So I think the most red I have is this quinacridone red. So we'll go with that. Yellow, the most primary yellow is obvious. It's this guy. It's really bright yellow. How to say it? Vanadium. Vanadium. We'll go with it. So red, yellow, blue. The bluest blue I've got that's most primary is this guy. That's that ultramarine deep. So I think I'm going to go with those 3 as my primaries for this. And I'll try mixing them and see how it comes out. Let's see. So I'm going to try to replicate this guy as much as I can. Sorry, that's not very bright, but it's what we got. I'm not turning the brightness up on the screen, I think. So let's see what happens if we start with the red, and we just do it over in the corner. Big circle of red. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna need some red here. No, I'll worry about that in a minute. All right. And the yellow we chose is that yellow vanadium, however you say it. So this kind. This one dries in the palette really crunchy. It's a very solid pigment. It dries up, it cracks. It doesn't hold its texture really nicely. Once it dries on a painting, it's nice. Okay, I'm just gonna do top middle for here. Okay, and put some yellow in here. Use my little baby palette. All right, and then we need our blue. I'm going ultramarine deep. And that is this one right here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And now doing the in-betweens. So I'm gonna need orange over there, but we've got blue on here, so I should start there. I can do blue and red, so I'll do some down here. Okay. And then I'll do some up here and get myself ready for my green. Okay. Okay, let's grab some of the red. Maybe a little more, there's my palette. And let's make ourselves a purple or a violet. At least that's the hope. Did we succeed? Mostly. I think there might be a hint of yellow in here. It might be turning this a tiny bit more muddy. We've got our spare over here at me. It's a little bit violet. It's not a perfect primary color, or secondary in this case. I think that red is doing me a little injustice. lets me know I should look into getting some better, more accurate yellows. Ironic, because I have a primary yellow and I literally didn't choose it. Maybe I should change to it. Or at least add it to this. Darken it with a primary yellow. And since I'm there, may as well add that to my blue here. I went way too far with the yellow on that. But I'm going to need that for right there, so I may as well do it. Okay. Let's get a little bit more of the blue in there. Nope, still not yet. That's a little more on the blue side. Well, I'm heading both directions. Let's go a little more, since I'm already pushing it the wrong direction. I may as well push it all the way. Let that be my blue-green, and that needs to go there. Okay. Let's go back the other direction, trying to make that work. I wonder, I might have made that a little too dark up there too. This really is closer to the green color. There's almost too blue, and that makes that way too blue. Let me see. Repair job. All right. Okay, that's a little bit more yellow. Okay. This side. Okay. Yeah, I really got to get the primary colors because clearly these are tinted off in different directions and they don't mix as well as I was hoping. I mean, it's still orange. I'd add a little touch more yellow to that. Yeah, it's orange. Yep. I, yeah. Get ourselves a yellow version. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. And that can be our red one. Right. Okay. Alright. So loop back around to our oval. So let's get a little more red into it. Okay. Reddish orange. Oh, purple, red. Red, purple. I don't know, words are weird. Now let's get it more blue. All right. Actually more purple than I would have expected. I need to refill. That cracker doing red is getting really low after all that. I think it was pretty shallow to begin with. I just wanted to make that a little larger. Okay. Not too shabby. Okay. Let's get my phone out here. And don't need this at the moment. I'm gonna grab a pencil. Let's see this. These are my primaries. use my secondaries. And again, I can make a better, prettier one in the future. What am I going to call these in the middle? I guess I'll just do squigglies. All right. So I've got primaries. Yeah, still primary. And I clearly could have done this better, but you know what? I'm owning up to it. All right, I'm gonna let that dry, and I'll trim it down some more, and it can be my little mini color wheel to see what my opposites are, so I can always know at a glance what contrasts. Yeah, that's helpful, I think. All right, I'm gonna let that dry. You can go over there. You can go up there in the drying area. This is extra. Oh, what next? Let's see. It's going up here. Okay. Well, I've got that finished. Man, everything I've done is kind of wimpy. Let me look at the list of things I had for today that I was planning. Maybe I'll find something else I want to throw on here. Done. Oh, that I can do. Another thing I was looking at doing was practicing some blending, just kind of getting different colors blending together. And there's a couple ways that I can do it. Not to mention I can do it multiple ways at once because of my stream, right? So I can do what I want. So let's do that. What do I have that I can do this on? I can grab another sheet. Yeah, that's fine. Whoa. Hey now. Go back where you belong. All right. Let's get another very loud pull of this paper. God, it is the loudest, worst sound ever. And it doesn't work well with this pad because it just tears up the rings up here that bind it together. I hate that. And what am I going to do? Get a razor up there and cut it? Ugh. That seems silly. I have to paint on here. Won't be the last time, I'm sure. All right. You can go over here. Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to grab a bigger brush. Because we're going big and bold with this, I think. Let's go really nuts and get the biggest round brush we got. Because we're just blending for fun. So one way I've seen that I've done before is doing circles. Truly just painting circles like low balloons. And then letting them kind of fade into each other with different colors. So I might do that, a little bit of that. Another option is doing kind of like my swatches, but instead of doing one color, one gradient, do two colors and let them fade into each other and see how they meet in the middle. That's one option as well. So that might be the one I do. But I don't know if I want to be perfect rectangular, painting inside the lines today. So I'm thinking go the route of the circles. So I'm just going to pick colors and go. I've got my little Really? Color wheel? There we go. That's what it's called. I've got my color wheel up there so I can try to do some like opposing colors and see how they look, but I'll use the actual ones from the palette that are closest to that. So that is an option. Let's try that. Let's go with the primary yellow because it's already pretty wet. Okay. And just do the circle up here. All right. Let's hit a little bit of our violet color and just sneak in from the edge. This is that quinacridone violet reddish color. So I'm just gonna just sneak in a little bit from here. Just let that blend into it. Another option is literally just doing a big circle next to it, because that didn't blend or bloom too really bad. Yeah, that's just letting it go into it. So, okay, that's a side effect. Let's experiment more on this side. So I'm going to just do a big circle here. What is... Oh my god, I got it on my finger? Really? And yes, I did. I'm doing great today. Somehow, I got enough of that dripped down my brush into my hand and onto the paper. That's fine. Let's try that yellow again, but this time I'm going to do it a different way. Hmm. A creep in on it. And just let them meet in the middle and kiss a little bit. And let's go. Let's go into our ultramarine. Next, and let's go orange. I'm going to go over the top of this to cover this up. And across from orange, we start getting into a greenish color. So let's go green. All right. And across from green, we start going more red. So let's hit a red. Okay. Watchmaking now? Feels like it. Like, what do you mean? Watchmaking? How do we have across from red? We start going more into the blues. Well, I went from green, I went across to blue. I went from blue earlier and orange. So blue, orange, green, red. I need to go to like a light, like a green gold to like a reddish blue black. What should make it now? Ah, got it. Just practicing blending some stuff. So I'm just doing a bunch of circles with like opposing or nearby colors, or really opposing, and just making them kind of kiss and just touch and see how they merge. Kind of playing. The alternative was I was going to do like this. Let me pick on a color like the purple I did earlier. I was gonna also consider doing, I guess, well, I'm doing it right there. Kind of like that. That's a little heavy. I didn't mean for it to be that heavy. Let's spread it out way more than I intended. And blend in another color. And just let them kind of meet and play. But I like the circles a little better. Yeah, I have never taken a proper art class, at least not since like middle school. So I love the idea of color theory, but I would need to take like a proper class on it to truly understand it. So that's what I was kind of practicing with, because I need to do more on color theory. So I made myself a very quick and dirty color wheel from the closest thing I had to primary red, yellow, and blue. Just to kind of tell them apart. It's not perfect. I just wanted like a little tiny baby one. And now just kind of practicing blending. Yeah. Or seeing how they bloom into each other. What's one I've not touched on yet? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do like a green gold. This is dried already, but that'll be fine. And across from that would be kind of like a reddish one. I could probably do my dragon's blood. That one's pretty close to opposite from that. Just doing a very light. Yeah. Oh, what else can we get? Let's go really wild. Just do turquoise green. Oh. Okay. And I think opposite from that would be kind of an orangish color. More reddish. I'll go with this one. Flip off the side of the paper there. Hmm? Yep, just random colors. Turn this into something when I'm done. Oh. Maybe when it's dry, I can find something to do with it. Yeah. I have no idea what, but that's the challenge, right? We'll see. We keep adding to it. Let's go blue. Let's do something right here. Not great at getting perfect circles. I'm just kind of winging it. Okay. Okay. Go yellow. Yep. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Hey. Okay. Hey. Hey. Hmm. Lots of mindlessness. Let me hook up my heat gun and dry this off. Oh, my blob. Okay. Yeah. Or at least have it at the ready. Right, I'm gonna set it down. I'm not gonna use it just yet. You get it over here. Grab some comfy. I'm actually just gonna let it dry for a little bit on its own. I think the more I let it naturally dry, the better. Now, what am I gonna do afterward? Figure it out as I go. I could probably do one of a few things. I could pull out some of my black pens and like trace the outlines of some of it, or I can use some of this thinner masking tape once it's dry, of course, and tape patterns onto it and then paint new things over the top in the spaces that I leave so they overlap on dry, and then peel that back. I can do a little of both. It's a possibility. I'll leave these to the side at the ready. Let this just dry. I'll figure out something. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sleepy. I'm sleepy. Wait, just figuring out what to do after this. We'll see. Because in the meantime, we can call this guy done. Let me get this out from here. We're probably going to use this clipboard in a bit to clip this guy down and paint him. Maybe not clip, paint or tape. Words are hard. But in the meantime, yeah, I could do that. Get a frame ready for the Aurora that I have been working on forever. Because I just undid it. You go there. Let's make this as precarious as possible. Okay. Let me add to the precariousness. That's a picture. It's like a tower of terror going on here. Yeah, not bad. Okay. Nice. Just scooch it over here. Ciao. And You, I'm gonna go over here. You, I do not need this back piece. I do not need the mat. And I need to peel all of this. Okay, it's one piece. Is peeling things really an ASMR thing for people? I don't get it. Yep, don't get it. That's each of them. You can go there. Let's get this in there. All right. Let's get this face down here. All right. We don't need this or this. And the bottom of it is down there. So that is going to go like this. Thank you, Goddess. I appreciate that. Yeah, it came out good. I like it. Again, as usual, you know, you're the one doing this thing. You're the one that likes it the least. But, yeah. Okay, well, once it's in a frame, it definitely does look far better. It's getting a ring light in there, but check that out. Definitely looks better framed. Just like painting something with masking tape and then peeling the masking tape away and you get all those crisp edges. This just kind of finishes it off. And like I said earlier, I can always take it back out and I can do some more detailed adjustments on the rocks and things near the edges to make them look more defined. But all in all, not too shabby. You can get the gist of what it is from this. Not bad. There it is. That. I never keep these masks. They're just a waste of space. I think I've got a bunch stored down there from other frames. Okay. This guy is getting close to dry. I'm gonna go ahead and finish him off so we can tape him down. Come on. We've got a real puddle over in this one corner. I'm trying to dry out. Woof. Okay. That's about as good as that's gonna get for now. You can go over here to cool. And you chill. Alright. Okay. Well, let's make some room. Let's just get some of this stuff out of the way. I'm gonna put you over here. Yeah, mostly dry. Enough that I think I can tape it down. Let's make some room. There. There. Now, because this is already curled, it might just pop right back up again. So let's see what it does. Especially on this clipboard. Let's see. What fresh hell is my phone blinging about now? If it's work, they can forget about it, because I am not here. Oops. Oops. Well. Let me see what this does. Yeah. She's not going to want to lay down flat, but I'll try. Okay. That's still a little wet. Put that over there. Scoot back. Okay. Okay. It is, but it's not fun. As long as what I work on is not on fire, I don't care. It can burn. Wait, that's kind of the opposite of what I meant. That seems to mean. Maybe that's really uneven, but who cares? I can adjust it. It's going to be the hardest part. It's always the last one that's always going to be the pain in the butt. Unless it's already curled. It just... He's not going to want to lay down flat no matter what I do. So I'm just going to try my best. Yeah, like that. It's just like, excuse you. What dost thou think thou art doing? I already have started my curling process. You fool of a human. What are you thinking? I know, buddy. But we've got to do more to this, because it's the only way forward for you. So, is it going to be perfect? Oh, heck no. But I can always apply more tape. And it might be kind of bubbly and raised up, but as long as it doesn't pop up and go crazy, I think I'll be fine with it. Mostly flat. Alright. And now, the fun bit. Doing all the side crazy shit. Alright, well. Not to worry. Okay, where is the edge of this? There it is. I have not used it yet, that's why. Just 2 down. Okay. Picking random places, picking it off. Okay. Right, one more. I think I already know where you're gonna go. As soon as I find the edge of this. That's not it. There it is. Right there. Okay. We've got ourselves a lot of tape, folks. Okay. Make sure it's down enough to not pop up and make a mess. And then I get to figure out at the end how to peel it off. But we'll get there when we get there. Okay. I guess the next question is what to do with this. Well, my first thought is go big. So like mop. The mops tend to get kind of like blotty and just not really spread out as much. I can do a wash brush. I could do one of these. I'm not using this one on stream yet. This one's a Princeton Heritage wash. #1 wash brush. Yeah, with a clear handle. Yeah, it's never going to focus on that. Probably because there's a bunch of stuff obviously behind it. That's just like, focus on me. But yeah, clear handle. Oh, there we go. Yep. So probably this. So what I might do, which makes the most sense to me, is do like a thin or dark in the individual patches here. I think that's probably what I'll do. Let's go clear water. And I'm going to start with a reddish color. And just do like over the top of this. Okay. And let's clean that off. And maybe go our yellow. And go here. Yeah. Okay. Let's go green. And do a little bit here. and pick that up and finish it. Okay. Let's do our pretty turquoise. Try to get that a little thinner. Maybe we'll hit this section right here. Not. How was the sound? Something off in the kitchens or somewhere. A squeak like crazy. It was a squeak. A squeak to end all squeaks. Okay. Let's go violet. Violet, you're turning violet, Violet. Yep. I went there. Oh. And let's just pick somewhere random, maybe here. Okay. Now maybe let's do opposing or different colors. So we've got green, we got yellow in that one, so we need a reddish color. So I think maybe I'll hit a tiny bit of this. Make sure it's watered down really good. Into here. Okay. So I missed a tiny little touch. Right there. All right. All right. In that corner is a lot of green. And according to my little color chart, the opposite of green is what appears to be a red. So I just did red. Maybe orange? Let's do orange. Let's get a lot more water than that. Alrighty. And I don't know, let's do my fave. My bay. Let's do some indigo right there and just cover that up. Okay. And still got some over here. Let's take from this ultramarine we got. Yeah, I need a little more than that. Okay, and let's do this section right here. Right. And some of it I'm going to leave alone, I think. I realize. Let's go green again, and let's hit this big section down here. Too much. Yeah. And, oh, green gold. Not done any green gold yet. Do it right here. Just thick green gold. Right, and I'll send it out with that. Okay. All right. Somewhere we've not hit yet. Ooh. Just do a tiny bit of that yellow ochre and do it right here. There, it's harmless. Okay. And you know what we've not done yet? We've got to get that dragon's blood. And I think one more. Kind of. There's a couple we didn't do, but that's okay. Maybe I'll hit this guy. And that one over there I didn't do at all, so maybe I'll hit that with some yellow. Sorry, I realized it was off center a good bit. Okay. 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 All right. I think that's enough of that mess. Next, while most of it is still at least partly wet, I say, let's hit it with some water drops. So I'm going to grab a round brush with some, at least mostly clean water, just spatter. Okay. And let that sit there for a bit. Yeah. Well, I'm going to let that dry naturally for a little bit, and I am going to be right back, make some fresh coffee, and we will come back and check on this and probably dry it a little bit and start peeling some tape, see how that looks. Maybe before we peel some tape, I go wacky and I put some stars on it, just for fun. Not really stars, just specks of white in this case, but we'll see where our heart takes us. All right, I'll be right back. All right. Okay. I am back. Let's go ahead and dry this off. All right. Well, I'm not gonna lie, Goddess. It was a great idea. Thank you for challenging me. It's going in a really interesting direction. I realized I just dried all that in my BR back screen, but hey, all I was doing was drawing. So, um, yeah, I think I'm going to do what I said, and I'm gonna plop some random drops of white on here. I think for the sake of what I'm doing, I'm going to do the watercolor ink and not the acrylic, because I don't really think that I want to deal with acrylic. That's the only reason. I don't think I want to deal with it right now. So I'm gonna put some watercolor in here. All right, now. And I am going to do not the toothbrush, but I'm going to do the clicky clacky dropping lots of bits from round brush method. The super technical term. My brush is disappearing under here. Okay. All right. Let's grab a tiny bit of water. A little bit of this. Making it everywhere. Not so bad this time, because I'm trying to be lighter and closer to it. If I go too high up, then it starts spraying everywhere. I'm not going to go heavy with it. I'm not trying to do space here. I just wanted to add some color variation to it. Make sure I didn't get anything on this one. Thank you. Thank you guys for your help. All right, you and then you. All right, and then dryer. All right. Well, what can I say about it? Well, it's certainly the most tape I've ever used in a piece before, so that'll be something. How does it look for wetness? I think it's dry. Mostly. There's some spots where still got a little going on, but I think it's enough where I can peel it as long as I'm careful. Nothing else I'm going to add to the parts that are at least exposed. That's the word I was looking for. I don't know why that was so hard. Hard part's going to be reversing this, so let's play the game of finding out what layer I did this on. So let's peel. Also, I have not really taped on top of paint before, so that'll be interesting to see how this comes up. Clearly, I don't expect the tape to have done a perfect job of preventing paint from leaching underneath, but that's going to be just part of the aesthetic of this, I think. That'll be fine. Okay, next on top. This is a fun game. This one? That works. Okay. Next. That appears to be a line. Uninterrupted. Start peeling this guy off. All right. It's another one down. The red one down here looks like it's good to go. Nope. Yes. All right. Garbage. Green. Green. Okay. All right. Yellow. You can go next. All right. Blue. Yep. All right. That's interesting, that's for sure. Okay. And then this. Well, that just peeled right up. Let me do the other side more slowly. There we go. All right. Not bad. I think I will still peel it for completeness sake. Okay. Ugh. Restricted suspicious user. I'm gonna buy out. You see a psychedelic lily pond. I get it. It's all the circles. Everything really trippy. I think it needs some contrast. I don't really mean to do it now because I think I'm gonna want to stop here in just a minute and take the dog out and then go eat. But I think what I'm gonna do is like I was talking about earlier with these Winsor & Newton black pens. Go through with a ruler and line up everywhere the tape was and do black lines where the tape was all the way across and let them crisscross each other so that it kind of crisscrosses in the middle and kind of make each section be the section it was when it was taped down. And I think that'll make all of the rest of it pop a little more and it'll help draw attention to all the areas that were taped and exposed from the tape. Right now it's just kind of mixed together, which still looks good, but I think that'll help kind of make it separate from there a little bit. But I think I'll leave that for another day because that'll take a lot of time and effort to go through and line up the ruler exactly, draw a line, line up the ruler and just do that. So I think I'll start my next stream on Thursday with that. Just finishing this one off and then trimming this little bit off the top of it and seeing how the whole thing looks as a whole. But even as it is, it actually looks kind of neat. I like how the texture came out of each section. Dropping the water droplets on it really helped as well. Had some really cool texture to it. And then adding some of the white to it. You literally only see it in the areas that were exposed. Is it not? Hello, hello? I am. It looks like it is. Hello? Hello, hello? Let me see. Do. Oh, you didn't hear me? Yep. Yeah, okay. I was just gonna pull up my stream on my phone, but yep. GM does say, or is it GMK? GM Quarry? I butcher names. I'm sure a lot of people butcher usernames, but I'll just go GM to start just because it's easy. Does hear me, so that's a good sign. And can I please see myself so I can monitor my stream? View. Hello? Yes. On my phone, my audio seems to be working too, so. Oh, it's your laptop. Yeah, it's getting overheated. I guess my painting is a little too spicy? No, not really. We'll let that ride. But it's okay. Worst case scenario, it'll be on the VOD, so you can always dip back through and see what I said. It's like looking up at the middle of a hanging glass chandelier. Oh, I see what you're saying. Kind of like a mobile, like a glass, like a stained glass mobile kind of thing. I can see that. I think, I don't want to say edging it, but putting the edges, using this pen and putting the edges in, along everywhere. Well, I can do like one and show you what I mean. I don't want to get caught in doing a bunch of it, but let's see. Like this is a very obvious line where tape was. So I can, sorry. Yeah, I think I'm literally going to do edge to edge, so fuck it, man. Just go for it. I like that. And I'll just repeat that for every one of the areas where tape was to kind of cordon off where was and was not taped, so you can kind of visually see the difference between them. And then you'll see up here when they crisscross as well. So I'm totally going to continue with that next time. And I'll do one last, the last bit of lining will be where I taped along the edges to kind of cordon it off. Or maybe not. I'll save that for last and see how it looks with and without it. But yeah, I think that'll come out really cool. And the lines are really going to help, I think, make it pop a little more. Oh yeah, I'll take it. Random for the win. I'm telling you, abstract is the way to go with a lot of this. Just doing random BS and seeing what sticks. Just come up with the weirdest stuff. And you're right. At Goddess, I was totally going to stop with just the circles because sometimes my brain doesn't work and I just get lazy and I can't really think of the next step beyond or the next step beyond that. Chess, I'm good at the one move in front of me, not the multiple moves ahead. Yeah, I like how that works. For me, it has that same look too, but I think once these lines are on it, it's going to feel very like comic book, like the barriers between the section and the comic book a little bit. But we'll see when it's done. Wow, I got some on top of my hand here. How I did that. I'll have to wash my hands here a bit. But yeah, I think that'll work really well. Let me see what this one looks like here. And said I wasn't going to do it. I'm doing some right now. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think once I get the rest of those drawn in, it'll finish that off really nicely. Heck yeah. All right. I'll continue working on that on Thursday. That's how I'll start. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of that day. But yeah, we'll finish this off then. Let's take one last look at the Aurora on mineral paper. I've got it back here in a frame now. Yeah. Fine. Okay. Yep. Sorry, ring light. Yeah. That one came out kind of nice. You know, aside from the obvious ring light up above me, the cheap ring light. Yeah. It's not too shabby. Got a couple little trees down the bottom now. I'll probably take it out later and top it off. Work on the river, work on the stones areas to give more texture, like I said. But otherwise, I think this one will be done. If anything, I might add a touch more stars with the acrylic instead of the watercolor white, just to get some more pop from the stars up on top. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that came out. Whether it will stand up or be hanging, I'll figure that out later. Or I'll just leave it sitting in this to the side. But yeah, I think that'll be it for me today. I'm gonna head on out. Aside from doing the last on the Aurora, this fun little doodad right here that I have no idea what to call, but we'll maybe call it the chandelier. And then our mini version of our palette, and then a little color wheel just to kind of see at a glance, which I might redo this again in the future, make it look better. But yep, I'm gonna head out, stop yapping, and I will see y'all on Thursday. I should be on around 4 o'clock Pacific time. What I'm doing, I don't know. Clearly finishing this guy, the chandelier, and then from there we'll figure it out. I'm sure I'll have a plan by then. I go at it probably 24 hours or less until the stream, figuring out what I'm going to do. I've got some rough ideas sometimes, but usually I finish them off right before I go online. Clips or streams, 73. I should make clips, but I want to play games. 7 days till dawn? That one, right? Yep. I had to think about that for a minute. I'm like, I've seen people play it. What is it? Or I'm thinking of it. Yeah. 7 days to die. I was close. 7 days to die. Okay. I have to look that up. Is that the... Like, you have to prepare for, like, a zombie attack or something at the end of it or something? I don't remember. Yeah. Zombie, yeah. Interesting. Well, I say go play and do whatever you want. I think after I take the doggo out and we eat, I don't know what we'll do. I haven't talked to my other half yet, but we might play a game. So we've been playing City of Heroes recently. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It used to be a MMO RPG back in the day. A superhero one called City of Heroes. It went offline like some, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago or something. I don't know the timage on that. I'm just guesstimating. But someone got all the code and released it and brought it all back online. No, it was actually before DC Heroes came out. It wasn't a Marvel or DC branded. It was like a generic superhero game. Look it up, City of Heroes. And someone got all the code, put it back online. A few different people did it, made their own launchers, started kind of like varying off the path of what the original game was a little bit, but some are staying true to it. And the original owners of the game came in and gave one specific group Homecoming, the green light to continue working on it. And they weren't going to copyright strike them or do anything to take them down. They aren't financially backing as far as I'm aware, but just enough to keep the servers online. I think they don't accept any money for it except donations just to keep the servers up. And it's still totally free to play now. It used to be $15 a month like most games, but yeah, it's old school. I mean, it's like from the era of like the end of Windows XP, beginning of Windows 7. So it was like that era when it came out. So it still plays on modern hardware, but you can make it work on older hardware with no problems at all. Probably at full quality, full resolution too. So feel free to check it out. City of Heroes Homecoming. You join their forum, and that gives you the account to log into the client. You just download the client, log in with that. make a character, figure out what you want it to look like, give it powers, and then just jump on and start doing missions. It's just a lot of fun. But yep, just nostalgia, big nostalgia burst. So, all right, I'm going to stop yapping. I've been going at it for 3 hours plus now, so I'm going to go ahead and head out. Goddess, thank you so much for hanging out with me. GM, if you're still here, you as well. Thank you for visiting and joining me for the first time ever. I appreciate that. Desert, if you're out there, you have a wonderful day as well. And anyone else that comes in and has dipped in without me seeing or will look at this later, thank you so much for watching. I am going to head on out. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.